And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thanks for tuning in today. We want to help you win in any marketplace. That's our goal as your consumer advocate right here at your 4 o'clock drive time on AM 860 The Answer. We got our weekend show as well. Check us out on 102.5 The Bone on the weekends, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. And we got a daily TV show as well on WeBeam TV. We're on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, and 85 other smart television outlets. So we'd love for you to connect with us there as well. We got a ton of content on YouTube as well as iTunes podcasts. So lots of ways that you can catch the Consumer Quarterback Show. And our goal is a little bit different. It's all about, you as the listener, the viewer of our show, helping position you as a winner when it comes to your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I'll let you know about an event that we have coming up for the Wounded Warriors. So save the date. This is Wednesday, January 8th. We got an event coming up for the Wounded Warriors right here in Tampa Bay at Florida Firearms Academy. In Tampa, close to Oldsmar area. We've got Ken Shamrock, UFC Hall of Famer, coming back into town. WWF legend going to be in the room, as well as Tampa's own Antonio Tarver. He's a 5-time world boxing champion and co-star of Rocky Balboa, the movie with Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone. It's all benefiting Wounded Warriors. So tickets are available on eventbrite.com. Go ahead and purchase your tickets today at eventbrite.com. We're going to have a DJ, lots of food, excellent time to be had. VIP meet and greet with Ken Shamrock and Antonio Tarver, benefiting the Wounded Warriors, Wednesday, January 8th. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort here in Tampa Bay on Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island. The Bilmar Beach Resort is filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort online and book directly with the Bilmar Beach Resort. Don't book through one of those engines. As Clyde Smith, the general manager, said, it's better to book directly with them. And let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Huge shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island on Gulf Boulevard. And in studio today, we got Rick Nickerson in the house. Bottomzupp Flooring Removal. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, great to be here. Love your platform. Always so interesting. What you do for the community and the consumers out there is what we like to do at Bottomzupp as well. We are the floor removal experts. We started 10 years ago with a machine and a dream. And I'd just like to touch base with, why in the world would you want to use a floor removal specialist today?
Yeah.
Just want to talk a little bit about it, during the holidays and things, as people are trying to protect their homes and decorate their homes, and they've got their Christmas trees and things up and their yards decorated. I know I just did all that this week, over these past 2 weekends.
Yeah.
It's really about protecting your home, protecting your substrate for your new flooring going back down. And I'd love to touch base on that today if I could.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk about real estate as an investment, as a driver to the economy, as an investment vehicle for homeowners, for families, people that are looking to build wealth. We find it. And here's a story that we found as well. U.S. homeowners enjoyed an average annual increase of $5,300 of equity in Q3 alone, according to CoreLogic's newly released home equity report for the third quarter, which accounts for roughly 64%. So homeowners with mortgages, which is 64% of all properties, have seen their equity increase by 5.1% year over year, representing a gain of $457 billion since the third quarter of 2018. So pretty cool.
That's an awesome number. And you know what? You can feel that. To see that, the proof is in the pudding. And I mean, we're feeling that right now. We've gained in the third quarter ourselves. We've had our best year to date. Nice. And I think it's parallel. I mean, they're side by side. As the industry goes, as the real estate market goes, so does those floor removal projects, those home remodels. And when equity's going up like that, it's the time to buy, it's the time to purchase, and it's the time to remodel. So when you're remodeling a home, the number one thing, we've had appraisers in here, and we've talked to I forget his
Ray Hall,
the man with the plan, Ray Hall. He's even spoke on it a couple of times on the show about how important that is, that first look when somebody walks into your home, that flooring, and how that can increase the value of your home over a period of time. So do it right. Find yourself a floor removal expert. Don't be afraid. Right now is the time to buy. It's the time to remodel. And call Bottomzupp. We're your guys. We'd love to come out and offer you a free quote.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at some of the statistics in Tampa Bay. You got Tampa Bay, the metro area is 3.1 million people. The median household income is $65,000. The unemployment rate is down to 3.4%. The median home price is around $120,000, and the median monthly rent is $1,075. So it's an interesting market that we're in. And it's increasing. It's an increasing market. We still have low inventory. One of the things we're battling is low inventory as real estate professionals. There's just not much inventory out there coming to the market. Several factors, I think, that are affecting that is that a lot of people have the mindset of, hey, I've already got a super low interest rate of 4%, 5% mortgage. Why would I, move? Then I have to buy a different house, and then the mortgage rates might be, so you look at that. But yeah, it's a great market to be in right now, Rick.
It really is. And, we just recently refinanced our home. I mean, why not? And, and you look around, I mean, right in my neighborhood, I'm in Pinellas, I'm in, across the lake from where you're at. We're in a great, beautiful place right there to raise your family. We've got great schools. The economy is bustling. We've got the most beautiful white sand beaches in the world. People, live and work their entire lives just to come down and see it and come down on vacation. You talk about low inventory, but there are houses out there, Brandon, and that's the whole thing is people don't give up if you want a house in this community. The problem with Tampa Bay having grown up in this area is that there's not a whole lot of land left.
That's right.
There's not a whole lot
Especially
of land
Pinellas.
left to build. Yeah, so leave it to this the specialists, if you will. Leave it to the Brandon Rhymes of the world to go find that dream home, to find that opportunity that you're looking for. And what a better time to pick up an investment property right now when you've got interest rates this low. Do that remodel. Go ahead and buy that property right now. You'll never find a better time to do it, and the time is now.
Yeah, and here's a fact as well. If you just joined us, we're talking with Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp, flooring removal experts here in Tampa Bay, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. But a lot of times in real estate, people talk about flips, making money and flipping real estate properties. Flooring is a big key aspect of that, of course. But it says the hottest flip cities in Florida. Number 1 is Miami. Number 2, Plant City out in East Hillsborough County. You got Deltona coming in at number 3, Orlando number 4, and then number 5 on the list, Tampa, Florida. It says the flipping rate is 18.8%. The average days to flip is 145 days, and the gross flipping profit is $56,800 as well. And you look at a 97.8% gross ROI. It talks about. So yeah, some hot areas, and also in the top 10, Port Richey is one of the areas as well in the top 10.
Yeah, I just my daughter and I are looking for an investment property for her, and being a friend of the show and listening. You talk about growing your wealth, and we were talking about to invest in the stock market or what. Dad, you have that conversation with your dad. Hey, Dad, I got a little extra money. I'm like, great. What are you going shopping? She's like, no, Dad, I think I want to invest it. I'm thinking about doing the stock. I go, listen, Newport Richey is a hotbed. Your credit's good. Yeah. Buy an investment property. I can help you fix it up. I can, I know a guy that does floors. I know a guy that can remodel, and go in and do that remodel. And so we're going through that process right now. And you are absolutely correct. In that Newport Richey holiday area, it's a bustling community. You talk about all the great 19 firms with an annual revenue of more than $1 billion are headquartered here. Yep. So the work is here. The Fortune 500 companies are here. I believe we just scored an Amazon contract where they're going to build a super center here locally.
That's going to bring,
it's going to bring thousands of jobs to the community. There's just never been a better time.
Yeah, really. And go back to your example as well, Rick, when you look at especially for folks that are maybe getting into the investing idea. It's their first time. They haven't really investigated a lot. But where else can you take, for example, if you work with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, let's say you just do a 3% down, right? Yeah. So if you put 3% down on a $300,000 home, that you're looking at about $9,000, right? So you can control a $300,000 asset with a 3% down, a $9,000 investment.
Absolutely.
Then you're able to improve that property, take advantage of the tax incentives, the write-offs, and then you're able to, over time, experience appreciation of that asset. And in Tampa Bay, we see that it's appreciating very quickly.
Absolutely. And coupled with that, if you think about it, and we talk about being a smart investor and, never rent. Well, there's certain people in situations where they come down.
Yep.
For, let's say you've got so many Fortune 500 companies here and so many large firms, and people are very transient and they're coming down and they're not necessarily looking to invest in a property, but they need to rent for 6 months or 8 months. They need a hot property.
Yep.
That's the time. Let someone else who is not in a situation where that they can necessarily afford to purchase the home as an investment property. Let them rent, let them pay your mortgage.
That's right.
And you're making money.
Yeah, and you buy a duplex or a triplex. Let's say that owner-occupied, right?
That's exactly it.
If you're owner-occupied, you can buy a 4-unit. So there's not a smarter move. If you're a first-time buyer or just buying another property, think about that. You buy a 4-plex unit and you live in one side and you have the other sides pay for your mortgage. You're living rent-free. You've got appreciation year over year. And then a lot of times you say, hey, never sell that asset. Keep that asset. Go buy something else. Keep building up properties over your time.
And build your wealth.
That's right. Build your wealth that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so more from Rick Nickerson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show when we come back. We also have a feel-good story of the day. Every day we're going to tell you something good in our feel-good story. We got bone marrow donor who's moving to tears. He's moved to tears when he meets the young girl that he saved. Find out about that. More from Rick Nickerson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this short break.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week of 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Battles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as you're super connected. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. We've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. Mm-hmm. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm a published author and professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. That's kind of our prequel to a business that we launched with Ken Shamrock, the UFC Hall of Famer, WWF legend, Ken Shamrock, called the Business Grow Celebrity Academy. I'd love to talk to you about that as well. Grow your micro celebrity. Business Grow Celebrity Academy helps you become a micro celebrity to grow wealth, build personal brand, and increase your status. Anyone can become a micro celebrity. It's easy. We'll teach you how at bgca.co. And we're back here in studio. We got Rick Nickerson in the house, Bottomzupp, a longtime friend of the program here. And this segment is brought to you by Infinity Medical Institute. Infinity Medical Institute, over 10 years in the business, over 40,000 successfully treated patients here in the Tampa Bay area. Hormone therapy at Infinity Medical Institute. Pellet hormone therapy is an option as well. And they can help you with weight loss, low T therapy, cosmetic services like Botox, improved sexual wellness, and increased energy. And they're also adding stem cells to their mix of business offerings as well. Over 10 years in the business as well at Infinity Medical Institute. Check them out online, infinitymedicalinstitute.com. And they're physically located at 1715 Northwest Shore Boulevard in Tampa. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And got a couple of hot listings here. 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs, Florida. Beautiful property, 2-story home. Lots of upgrades here with this property at 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs. Now, this home is located close to downtown, so the walkability factor is there. You could literally walk to dinner. You walk over to a lot of the things happening downtown. Lots of upgrades throughout the home as well. Beautiful flooring, ceramic tile in the wet areas. There's a backyard, has enough room for a pool if you wanted to add a pool addition in there. And it's got a nice layout and floor plan as well. 216 North Spring Boulevard, Tarpon Springs. Owners are motivated and looking for offers. 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. And one of my favorite listings here as well. 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. 200 steps from the sugar sand beaches of the Clearwater Beach there, dolphin-filled waters of Clearwater Beach. 861 Mandalay Avenue has a huge master suite upstairs and just a beautiful floor plan. It's got a nice area as well. The lanai area is just super cool. You've got an outdoor shower, so you walk back from the beach, you go and shower off, and you hang out outside by the patio. You got the electronics package there as well, so you can enjoy football games outside and enjoy that beautiful Florida weather that we have here. Check out all of our real estate properties at PlatinumMVPteam.com. All right, so we got Rick Nickerson in the house. Bottomzupp is his company name, and we talk a lot about the availability for both residential and commercial assets to be improved by simply changing the flooring. It really makes night and day difference a lot of times in real estate.
It does. It's everything in the real estate game. You know, appearance is people walk in and let me tell you, most of the time that purchase is decided within the first 15 to 30 seconds of walking in the home. They see something they like.
That's right.
They go right to it and they lock in. Or they see something they dislike.
Yeah.
And sometimes that will decrease the value, and people immediately will say, well, I got to put new flooring in.
Yes.
So I need a $10,000, reduction, or I need this or that. If you've already got that already done, don't hesitate to make that project your first priority right now, because it's only going to increase your value of your home. People always ask, why a floor removal specialist? Why somebody like me? And I've often talked on this show with guys that have actually said, I wish I would have known you 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's when we started. And so our name is out there now. Listen, when you're getting a project done, why would you why would you go through? Let me just read something to you, like how to remove tile. Straight from the internet. Let me just read something to you. You got to break the tile up first using a hammer or a ball peen hammer.
Wow.
Hit the tile in the center with a hammer. Use a chisel to chip out the tile. Break up multiple tiles at a time and remove with a floor scraper. Remove the mortar from the underlayment by hammering it. Listen, we have got a machine that's $35,000. That is the coolest thing that ever happened. When I saw it and I walked into a home show 11 years ago, saw this machine, I said, that's going to change the way we remove floors going forward.
Yeah.
And could you imagine having 1,000 square feet of that old nasty 8x8, 6x6 tile, and you're banging on it with a ball peen hammer or a sledgehammer? Let the floor removal experts at Bottomzupp drive our machinery equipment inside your home, protect it, prepare your slab for new installation, and done in a matter of days. 1 to 2 days is our regular business demographic. And I can tell you a story that happened here recently, Brandon.
I love stories.
Yeah, well, this really kind of hits home as to why you would want a floor removal expert. Went out to a home and gave a customer who was remodeling their home, gave them a price. It's double layer. So what somebody did was they put tile down, and then they put tile down on top.
Oh, wow.
The tile on top failed. I gave them a price, a very reduced price, and I told them that the tile underneath has been down there since the 70s, and it's going to be an issue. All right. And they're like, well, we're going to put wood floors down. We need a good slab. So I gave them a price. They came back and said, I got my cousin that's going to come in here. He's got it. He can rent a jackhammer and do it for half the amount of money that you're saving, that you're saying you're going to do the project for.
Yeah.
And I said, well, okay. Has he ever done it before? Who couldn't do it? I looked it up. This is the easiest thing to do. I said, okay, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
And, if you ever have any, problems or anything, give me a call. A week later, he calls back and says he walked off my job site and destroyed my floor. Let me come see what you got. I come back in, I look at it, and it's absolutely, the house was destroyed.
Oh, man.
And so, again, I caution you out there. And I've seen so many times, I've told you a story about my neighbor where, a guy came in and, installed a floor and just walked. They just walked, licensed, insured. And I'll tell you something, we have never walked away from a single customer over our 10-year history.
Wow.
We will not rest until that floor is ready for installation. If something goes wrong, we're going to back it up. We're licensed and we're insured. Yeah. I have even paid for stuff that we absolutely did not do.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to, because it's the right thing. Yeah. We're going into your home. We're going to treat it with respect. We're going to make sure that your slab is ready for installation. And, not to mention, that's just ceramic tile. How hard it gets when you've got glued down wood, vinyl composite tile. If it's glued or stuck to the floor, let the professionals at Bottomzupp come by and take care of that project for you in a timely manner.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great opportunity. Again, and you're working with a pro that knows how to do the job. You're supporting the local economy as well. And you're getting into a situation where you're not going to get drugged down the road, and then all of a sudden you have these issues, people walking off the job not getting done right.
Correct. And we're family owned and operated. There's 65 souls that I like to say that are my family members that, are weekly, depend on, the Bottomzupp family for an income, and, and Christmas coming up and things like that. Support the local economy, support the local small business owners. We're here for you, and you'll be glad that you did. I mean, when you're doing a project like this, it can literally make or break your remodel. It's the very first line of defense. So when let our professionals, let our trained personnel come out to your home, provide a free estimate, come out and we can do the project 9 times out of 10 in one day.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You have an opportunity to work with Bottomzupp. Website is bottomzupp.com, BOTTOMZUPP, bottomzupp.com, and you'll see the machine roll around there. So that machine really does save a lot of time and effort, doesn't it?
It does. It's 2,200 pounds of blue steel. It's got tractor blades on it. I've got 8 different blades that we can put on the end of that based on, the size and scope of the project that we're doing. You can see that we just literally run through it with that. You got to think about the downforce, the hydraulic downforce that you're looking at. And those blades are specifically designed by National. I'm going to pitch the 5700 National because we've got 21 machines of various different sizes and abilities. But what they do is they don't put they minimize the amount of downforce on the slab itself, and they take up their rig just to take up the glue and the thin set without damaging your substrate.
Wow.
And so that's it. And being in this community, we're very blessed. I was out today at a condo, and we are the preferred condo removal specialists. We can literally get our various different size machines in an elevator, protect all the common areas, get it into the unit, and then we've got a specialized system for getting that debris in and out of that unit and down. There is a premium to do the high rises, but we even have developed a system to get them 22 floors up in the air.
Nice.
So we can there's no job too small, no job too big.
I like it.
And we can get our equipment in there and make it happen for you.
All right. Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp. Bottomzupp.com. Check him out online. Consumer Quarterback Show. Our goal is to help you win. Follow us online. Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook. And, of course, YouTube. We have an iTunes podcast for you as well. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62, who knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62, who knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it. Ask an attorney about Florida law.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and changed them.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back their rights. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife and I own and operate our team at Keller Williams, and we are recruiting agents right now. We're interviewing a select few agents that might be interested in potentially joining our team, harnessing the power of our radio and TV show model, where we help our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties. And we got a hot property here at 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs. Now, this is a gorgeous opportunity to own a piece of real estate. Beautiful home here in Tarpon Springs. You've got the walkability where you can walk to the downtown areas of Tarpon Springs, the Epiphany, all of the cool things that Tarpon Springs rather offers. Great opportunity. Owners motivated. And check out that beautiful photography compliments of Febre Frameworks, the official real estate photographer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got 1810 Citrus Hill Lane in Palm Harbor. This is another gorgeous home. This is a nice family-style home in Palm Harbor, and it is a pool home with a screened-in lanai, fenced-in backyard, lots of upgrades throughout the home. Now, the owner is he's a master plumber, so he's got a no salt water filtration system on the home, and it's just a lot of updates in this property. Gorgeous home at 1810 Citrus Hill Lane, Palm Harbor, and all of our listings are available on our website at platinummvpteam.com. This segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, located at the International Plaza on Bay Street. And they offer a really cool outdoor patio seating area, and your dogs are welcome. So bring your furry friends to the mall next time you go and check them out at Taps. They've got the Burger Bar and Gastropub. Excellent beer on tap. They got the craft beers on tap as well. It's 2223 Northwest Shore Boulevard, right here in Tampa. The official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Taps Restaurant and Bar over at the International Plaza. Great ambiance, very friendly staff, and the excellent food. Very good food. Burgers are amazing. The fish dishes are excellent as well. And I highly recommend Taps Restaurant. Now, make sure you give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's talk with Jannete Sawdon here, Febre Frameworks. So when you think about real estate, a lot of times it's the new first impression because, you know, that internet has kind of taken over, right? So that first impression with the photography is so key.
Videography, which is huge now. That's what you need in order to sell a home is great photography, and we're here for you.
Yeah. Yep. So the photography, it's come a long ways over the years, right? Now a lot of the editing, the wide angle lenses, it really gives you a better glimpse into each room.
Exactly. And you know, editing is really what's key here. We try to make all of our photos look realistic. You know, we don't want to make them look fake or super HDR. We want to actually show you what, you know, the great features of the property.
Yep.
You know, with subtle brightness and just make it look as natural as possible, which is, I think, big in real estate photography, because you can go to a home and you're like, that's not what the photos, you know.
Yeah.
The photos are fake, and you know, we gave you good photos though.
That's good photos, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think sometimes people do get thrown off by that. What's the main feedback you see in those situations? Is it just the size of the room or the lighting in the room? Like what's different there?
It's when the editing goes just a little too. It does it a little bit too much in the editing. It's just really HDR. Just a little too. I don't know how to explain it.
And when you say HDR, that's high definition resolution.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So just a little bit too much of that. You know, where everything just looks way too sharp and just the colors are off and everything. So.
Yeah.
But we bring it back. We want to give you natural looking photos, you know, and at least with the wide angle lens, we show you what the room actually looks like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you get you get that view, and then you kind of look at, you know, you have to see them in person to really get the full feel of the rooms. But this is your eye in the sky, so to speak, especially when you think about the drones.
Oh my gosh, those drones! And can you imagine right now flying those drones in this weather?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you fly them?
No, I don't. I don't fly them. I train the guys that fly them, but I don't personally. I'm too scared. I'm nervous I'm going to get it stuck in a tree or something. I mean, it happens very often.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
But yeah, those drones are fantastic, especially when you have those waterfront properties, or a home on a conservation, or tons of land.
Yep.
Even we've had a lot of clients come to us when they have like roof inspections, or legal purposes, like with businesses, if they need to take photos of the property for legal purposes, they come to us as well for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like
there's
that.
a lot of useful purposes for a drone.
Flying those drones, you think about back in the day, you're a kid, you're playing the video games. You're never going to make anything with those video games. What are you doing? But it's very similar, right?
Yeah.
You're flying, you got a joy handle or joystick, so to speak, and then...
Exactly. And you can also fly it with your phone, which is pretty cool as well. Oh. Yeah, you have the remotes on your phone. You can just fly it.
And the MLS now allows 50 pictures. It used to be 25. They doubled it to 50.
Finally.
That's awesome.
I mean, they need to keep going with this, They've now started allowing virtual stage photos, which is fantastic. So you can save money at that point right there. Just come to us and we'll virtually stage the furniture into that vacant room. And you can post it on MLS, which I think is fantastic, and save money. You don't have to hire a stager.
I use that on expireds a lot of times too, especially if the property's, it's priced pretty close. It's not too overpriced like a lot of the expireds are.
Right.
But it's a good idea because you're allowed to at that point virtually stage as long as you disclose that these are virtually staged photography.
Exactly. And I think it's quick too. Like if you want a home that you want to sell, quickly, just get those photos virtually staged and get them back to you in less than 2 days, and you can put it right up on the market before the weekend.
Yeah, I love that. If you just joined us, we're talking with Jannete Sawdon, Febre Frameworks. She is with Febre Frameworks and online at febreframeworks.com, and it's Febre is Febre. Yeah,
Febre.
Febre Frameworks.
Not Febre. Febre.
Yeah, not ER. Yeah. So the real estate industry has changed. There's a battle going on right now. Keller Williams invested $1 billion into technology. That's why we're so glad to be with Gary Keller, who is the visionary in real estate. Years ago, he wrote the book Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which a lot of agencies model their businesses after that. So the $1 billion technology investment, artificial intelligence is built into a lot of the things that we're doing with our system called Command. But the battle is that I'm going back to that first impression. People are finding properties on the Z word. I don't even like to say it. Some of these other websites.
Right.
But when you look at the realtor being involved, the photography being that first impression, I think that's really where we're able to add value still. Once they see the property, they set up a time to go see it. That's where the agents are still going to be involved in the transactions.
Definitely. I can tell you a story. There's 2 homes right next to each other. I was a client that told me 2 homes next to each other. One had professional photography, us, and the other home they were both with realtors. Okay.
Yep.
The other home was cell phone photos.
Oh wow.
That other home went on the market 2 weeks before the home with the professional photography. The professional photography sold on the weekend.
Wow.
The other home without the professional photography sat on the market for 3 months.
Yeah. It's sad.
3 months. And that was a rehab property. So it wasn't like the home was trash or anything.
Was it renovated?
It was renovated. It was completely redone. And can you just imagine sitting that investor?
We all think we have the gift.
Lost?
I know.
Well, they save. It's ridiculous because they save a couple $100, or I think even packages are less with Febre.
Yeah.
$125 for some of the packages. I think.
Right. We're affordable.
Yeah, very affordable. So you save that little bit of money just by taking. And maybe it's a convenience factor. Somebody snap it with their phone, and at least if you're going to do it with your phone, turn your phone this way. Yeah. Turn your phone the horizontal picture wise. And my daughter was excited. She said, "Oh wow, this one has 3 cameras. I just got the new iPhone 11 Pro, whatever it is." But you're still not going to be able to get the angles and the editing and everything done that you can do with Febre Frameworks.
Right, and even with the new cameras, they have that ultra wide camera setting. Okay, which is comparable to our lens. I'll say that, but the editing is where it's going to get you.
Yeah.
Those ultra wide angles on the phone, the photos are dark.
Yep.
The photos are bended within, inside. Whereas if you hire a professional photographer, knows what we're doing, and we have professional lenses, your photos are not going to bend inside. The photos are going to look bright and clear, and you'll be able to see the home clearly. So I think that's important.
Excellent. I like it. Febre Frameworks. Check them out online, febreframeworks.com. Jannete Sawdon, longtime friend of the program. Good seeing you again. More from Jannete coming up in our lightning round. We're going to drop some knowledge in terms of our lightning round here coming up in the next segment. Top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom. And we also have our feel-good story of the day coming out of Kenya. This is Kenya installs first solar plant that transforms ocean water into clean drinking water. Find out about that story and more from our expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo!
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, reminding you to save the date, Wednesday, January 8th. We got an event coming up where we're bringing in 2 world champion fighters into the same ring. It's going to be a business networking style event. Going to be a meet and greet to meet Ken Shamrock and Antonio Tarver. The Wounded Warriors are going to be the benefiting charity for that as well. Wounded Warriors, the folks that have served our country and got wounded. So there's not many better causes than that. I know there's a lot of great causes out there, but Ken Shamrock going to be in town on Wednesday, January 8th. Save the date. UFC Hall of Famer, WWF legend, and also Tampa's own Antonio Tarver as well, 5-time world boxing champion, going to be in the house. The location is to be determined, but we will let you know. We're going to have an Eventbrite set up, of course, Facebook pages as well. So save that date, Wednesday, January 8th. Going to be something like 6 to 9 p.m. In the evening event as well. So we're here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4 o'clock drive time, AM 860 The Answer, weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone. And you can find us on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and 85 other outlets. We got Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy. We got Master Sergeant H.L. Allen, Legal Shield, an ID Shield, and also Jannete Sawdon, Febre Frameworks here, coming up in our lightning round. But before we do, every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we've got a little desalination talk here going on. Kenya installs first solar plant that transforms ocean water into clean drinking water. And this is from the Kenya that has been forced, the folks of Kenya have been forced to drink, cook, and bathe in contaminated brackish water for years. In 2018, Give Power, a nonprofit that provides solar energy solutions to regions that need it most, installed its first ever solar water farm, which has been providing clean water to 35,000 every single day. So the solar water farms turn the salt water in the Indian Ocean into clean drinking water, advanced through filtration systems. The main issue is that water plants cost a lot to run. However, solar plants have helped solve that issue. Give powers solar water and harvest solar energy using its solar panels. They are able to produce 50 kilowatts of energy power to water pumps that run 24 hours a day. Before their solar farm installation, the people of Kenya had to travel up to an hour each way a day just to get clean water. And Give Power has helped 35,000 people. Now, here's a quote. Just $20 provides clean, healthy, fresh water for one person for an entire decade. Give Power Foundation wrote on Instagram. That's pretty cool, man. $20 for a decade. But what an awesome story. Desalinization, I think we need more of those types of stories.
This costs more than $20 to use bottled water. Right?
Yeah, right. So there's our feel-good story of the day, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health, will. Each one of those spokes extending out from that center hub, representing another one of our preferred partners, our on-air expert contributors, over 50-plus categories, 80 categories, rather, of consumer advocate content here. And we want to be your resource. ConsumerQB.com is the website. You can reach out through the website, ConsumerQB.com, or just save our hotline number, and any of our professionals, we will have you a direct connection to our expert contributors, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Make sure you save that hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Bilmar Beach Resort on beautiful Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island. And I love visiting the beach and checking out the Bilmar Beach Resort. They've got 90% of the rooms overlooking the beach and the ocean there, or the Gulf of Mexico, rather. They have the standing ovations going on. Awesome opportunity to go hang out on the beaches. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, here we go. We're going to jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Thomas King, Florida Firearms.
Well, I'd like to say that a lot of people in our community know, and this is what sets us aside, is we take a portion of our profits and we use it to fight for your rights, your Second Amendment rights, for the military, law enforcement, first responders, veterans, and we're on our donations. We employ military, law enforcement, first responder, and veterans, or there's people there that work there now that are trying to get into law enforcement or EMT or whatever it may be, firefighters. So we always support them, and that's what we love doing, is giving back to the community, helping them out. We are Florida Firearms Academy, and you can find us at ffatampa.com, or you can call us at 813-221-FIRE, or you can locate us at 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, and we're right between West Chase and the flea market over there.
Yeah, awesome. Check them out. Lots of classes going on. ffatampa.com. All right, Master Sergeant H.L. Allen. Tell us a little bit of some nuggets of advice here, sir.
Tips to see for identity theft. A lot of people are going to be spending a lot of money, going to be using their credit card a lot. So here's what I suggest. Anytime you make a purchase with that credit card, make sure you go back and check your balance. Make sure any location, whether it be in a supermarket, whether it be at a grocery store, whether it be at the mall, you need to be on top of those things, because if not, we have individuals that really would take advantage of it. Also, a program that we have called the Gun Supplement Program. Anytime a person have a weapon, they have to use that weapon. You need to be able to get in touch with your attorney. So that's a program that we offer. It's a very good program. And with the Legal Shield, a lot of folks going to be on the road and stuff, so it just makes good sense. Just give you a peace of mind knowing that you have 24/7 access to your attorney, that you get your will done, contract review, IRS issue, anything you need attorney for, we get it done, plus for at a great price, $24.95. Let's give you a peace of mind.
I like that.
Yes.
That's good stuff, man. Jannete Sawdon, Febre Frameworks.
Yes, we are an affordable photography company. We're located in Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville. Not only do we serve our agents around Tampa with real estate photography, but we also do weddings, headshots, food, anything, you name it, photography. Give us a call, 813-906-8300, and we are affordable.
Online at FebreFrameworks.com. All right, so I'm going to talk about goal setting. It's that time of year. Everybody's talking about goal setting. It's that time to write down your goals. First of all, you got to write them down and make them real. And then what happens is you get into a scenario where you got to determine what you should be doing, right? Like the 80-20 rule we talk a lot about, Pareto principle. What are you going to do now, right? So I was listening to Jay Papasan and Gary Keller, and they had something that they broke down. It's pretty cool. So a lot of times we hear some people say, someday I'm going to do this, or someday I'm going to be a millionaire, someday I'm going to have a family, whatever your goals are, right? It doesn't always have to be monetary. I think sometimes we fall into that route of, it's all success driven, it's all monetary, greed, that type of thing, right? But whatever that goal is, it could be a lot of different things. You have a someday goal, but then you break that down into, okay, I got a 5-year goal. Now, what do I have to do to reach my 5-year goal? Well, I've got to reach my 1-year goal, right? If I chunk it down, if I bring it down. So my 1-year goal is going to be next. And then from there, it comes into a monthly goal. If I'm in real estate, it might be, hey, I've got to take 5 new listings this month to generate the amount of sales and buyer leads that I need to close and to hit my income goals. And then from a monthly goal, you break it down to a weekly goal, right? So it sounds pretty simple here, right? Weekly goal gets broken down into a daily goal. What are you doing on a daily basis? And then that daily goal gets broken down into, what am I doing right now, right? So what's my right now goal? And I think that's, if you really think about it from that step as a rungs on a ladder, from each step of that ladder, as I'm getting up closer to the top, the pinnacle, the success that I'm trying to reach, each one of those steps are going to come into different goals, different things that you're going to be doing on a daily basis. Prospecting, lead generation. If you're in sales specifically, those are your key ideas. You're meeting certain people. You're going out to networking groups. So it really comes back to, what am I doing on a hourly basis, right? What am I doing this hour to drive that success, push that pendulum into the side of success for me and my business. So that's what we teach at Keller Williams Realty Platinum MVP Team. All right, let's do another round here. We got Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy. Give me another goal or tip that you would recommend.
I always tell everyone this, I would do everything and anything to protect my family. So make sure, whatever it may be, it may not be weapons, it may be jiu-jitsu, it may be mace, it may be something, but make sure you have training in it, make sure you understand it, and do everything you can to protect your family.
Yep, absolutely. I like that. And H.L. Allen, Master Sergeant H.L. Allen, retired.
What I always like to say for us protecting your information, look at it as your goal, because if someone gets your information, they can damage your life. In fact, one lady, her information got compromised. She actually ended up taking her life. So it's just that stressful. So the main thing is stay on top of your legal side of the house, getting your will done, because here's what I know. If you don't get those things done, and something happened to you, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. Your family going to regret it. So the main thing is keeping that family together and looking out for them, looking out for the legal side of the house, looking also identity theft side of the house for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. A lot of confusion out there in the marketplace, and that's that's driving a lot of these types of scams that we see. Oh, yeah. The identity theft, those types of things, and then it's even more confusing when it comes to what do I do now?
Yeah.
My identity's been taken. I've got medical issues. The hospital won't see me because of the identity theft, or I get pulled over in a car accident. So I think it's just a confusing landscape for people, so they don't know where to start.
So true.
I think that's a key. Yeah. All right, let's do another round here. Jannete Sawdon, Febre Frameworks. Give me some more tips.
for any agent out there that's trying to reinvent their profile, come to us. Let's do a headshot first. Let's get your business cards updated for you, and then you can go out and start prospecting and lead generation with those new headshots.
Yeah, it's that time of year. Get rid of those 1995
those glamour shots.
Glamour shots, right?
From JCPenney.
Yeah, JCPenney. That's right. That's what you used to have to do. You go to Sears or something. Like, where do I get some headshots at?
The big hair.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah. The big
doesn't
hair
have to
days.
just be studio headshots. We can go out to any waterfront, buy armature works. Yeah, just let us know.
Yeah. Get creative with it. Utilize it. I always say too, like, think about your brand. What do you want your brand to be? People sometimes say, "Man, I see brand. You got your your brand everywhere." But yeah, that is my brand. That's my logo. That I created that 7 years ago, and that's what I'm known for. So come up with something. Think about one of our friends is the flying realtor. I mean, that's a great idea. He's a pilot. He likes to fly. He flies down to the Keys and the Bahamas, helping out people with those. So think about your brand this time of year. Not only with your goal setting, because goal setting, you hear about it, it's kind of played out. I think people, and here's the thing with goals too, is people massively overestimate what they can do in 1 year. So they hurt themselves in a way because I'm going to do all this next year. No, set a 5-year goal, because then you underestimate what you can do in 5 years. So if you look back 5 years ago, what were you doing? Compare that to now. Wow, I did come a long ways. So I think the photo shots or the updated headshots, great idea. Goal setting, branding, it all goes hand in hand. This is the time to reinvent yourself and to solidify your brand.
Especially with social media.
That's right. Social media it's there. Content is king. We talk about that a lot. Hey, another great show. Thomas King, Master Sergeant H.L. Allen, Jannete Sawdon. Thanks so much for coming in. Thanks to our listeners, our viewers, our team out there putting the show together. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing. Carry it with you to and from your commute. Hand it to that person that you see in need and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.